Good morning. My name is Michensey Hamlin, and I've always thought of myself as having a pretty bright outlook on life. I try to look at the positive side of everything and generally am that girl that will find the silver lining in most every situation. A large part of that optimism has come from always trying to have a strong faith and relationship with God. No matter what was happening, good or bad, I always would try to remember not to worry, because God has a plan. However, 3 months ago, something happened that I never thought would be a part of my plan, and I lost my light. My Uncle Jeff unexpectedly passed away in a freak accident 3 weeks before his 43rd birthday. I remember when I first heard what happened, I stood in our kitchen completely frozen. I wasn't sure what to think or do because I literally couldn't imagine my life without Jeff. I couldn't imagine not being able to call him like I have every week for years, or not spending my spring break with him in Atlanta ever again. It all felt like a terrible dream. Jeff and I were buddies. We basically made a sport out of picking on each other, and in a lot of ways, he was a role model. Jeff had a way of putting things in perspective and could make everything seem okay, even when it really wasn't. One of my very favorite things about Jeff is he never started a conversation with a standard hello or how are you. The very first words out of his mouth always were, "What's going on?" I miss a lot about Jeff, but the thing I'm missing the most is being able to call him and hear him say those 3 words. Because whether Jeff knew it or not, hearing him say, "What's going on?" when I answered my phone was comforting, and it could always make me smile. My Uncle Jeff is someone who has made an immeasurable impact on my life. He has left a huge void in my heart, and I have to admit, I was pretty mad at God for his death. I couldn't and still can't believe my buddy had been taken away from us, so I stopped praying. It made me really uncomfortable, but I had no words for God anymore. I was completely dumbfounded by what happened, so for the first time in my life, I gave God the silent treatment. And it ended up being about a month that I didn't or really couldn't pray. The incredible part about that month is even though he knew exactly how angry I was with him, I felt God's presence more than I ever have. I tried really hard to seem okay and be fine, but he knew how afraid and confused I really was. So every day during that month, God gave me reminders that he was walking with me. Some days it was a Bible verse I happened to see. Other days it was a prayer in church, a friend's encouraging words, or even a sudden feeling of peace that I was desperate for. God wouldn't let me forget that he was here, and his presence saved me in a way, because knowing God was with me gave me relief and hope. God gave me the strength to gain my light back. And still on the days when I need it most, God reminds me not to worry. He is here. As cliche as it sounds, it ultimately has been God's constant presence that has kept me moving forward through this loss. Going through this has shown me quite literally that God is never going to leave me, and his loving presence truly is constant, even if I'm a little lost. It still is really scary and hard to think of my future without Jeff in it. But having the knowledge that God is walking beside me has given me comfort, and it makes everything a little less scary. So for that, I have to be grateful to Jeff, because in his absence, Jeff gave me a gift that I will carry with me from now on. And that is the knowledge that God will be beside me no matter what. He will be here, helping me every step of the way, giving me strength and courage, until the day I get to give Jeff the biggest hug and hear him say my favorite 3 words, "What's going on?"